Welcome back to Gerodynamics. It has been a long time since I've done this. Okay, so one, face on camera instead of top down opening magic. Two, this is a political video. Haven't done one of these in a really long time. If you're not interested in political videos, just cut off right now. It's no harm, no foul. This probably isn't going to be the video for you. But if you'd like to hear what I say, stick around. All right. Also, this is a video that I'm doing based off a post that I made yesterday. So that will look like I'm reading some because I'm reading my post. This is not me reading other people's stuff. This is, me reading my post. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, all right. So, what is this video even about and why am I doing it? So, mostly this video is going to be about the government shutdown, a little tiny bit about the No Kings protests. And why am I doing it? Because I have time and I want to. You'll probably be seeing more videos posted from me. I do have more time right now. That won't last forever, but I'll do it for now. And so this is my video about the No Kings protest, short bit, and the government shutdown. Let's talk about it. All right. The No Kings protest, I was actually very, very surprised. They were mostly peaceful, as the joke goes, the mostly peaceful protests. This time they actually were. There was some violence, and we would rather not see any violence, but I would say that in general, if you were expecting this to be like some of the other protests that turned into riots, that did not happen, and we are very grateful for that. So good job, guys. Also, it is a protest that's basically just your typical partisan protest. Um, they call it the No Kings protest. It's very catchy. Lots of people are running with that, having a good time with that. But here's the thing: Trump isn't a king. He's not acting like a king. He doesn't want to become king. He does make some jokes, and I don't think you should take those seriously. But even if you did, even if he was serious, he couldn't become a king. That's just not how things work around here. But, as far as, protest goes, protesting him because he's a Republican who does things you don't want him to do is pretty much what you're seeing out there. Not a big deal. Not some crazy unexpected protest. It is pretty much what you'd expect. Um, Trump will not be running for president a third term. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. And even if he tried, we wouldn't let him. Right. So even his supporters wouldn't let him. There would be a few. Let me clarify. There are some people that are such huge supporters of Trump. Often you might call them MAGA, although people on the left call everybody MAGA that they disagree with. So that's probably not the right clarification there. But the people who support Trump more than anything else, more than definitely more than the political party, the Republican Party, definitely more than your typical politician. If he tried to run for a third term, there are some that would support him in that, but not nearly enough for him to be able to actually pull it off. One, he couldn't get on the ballot. It's not possible legally. Two, he wouldn't have the support of he wouldn't have the numbers that he would need to win the election, let alone the primary. He wouldn't be able to do it in the Republican primary. He'd have to run as a third party outside of the Republican primary. Um, and he wouldn't be able to get on the ballot because legally there would be legal challenges that he would lose if he tried to get his name on the ballot because he's already been president for 2 terms. Now you have people out there like Bannon, I think, is saying, "Oh, but just wait. We'll prove it. We'll show it." They aren't proving it. They aren't showing it. There's nothing that can justify putting him on the ballot. You really don't have to worry about that. I don't think Trump takes it seriously. I think he's joking about it. It's just kind of one of his trolls that he does. But if he did take it seriously and he tried to move forward with it, he would be stopped. It's not even a question. So I know some people are legitimately scared. Don't be. We won't let it happen. All right. So, moving on from that, he is not a king. He doesn't want to be king. He's not going to be king. But people are allowed to protest against Trump. They did. Some people are saying like massive numbers like 7 million. Some people are saying super small numbers like 650,000. I don't think either of those numbers are accurate. I don't think we have an accurate number though, so I'm not going to venture a guess. Let's just say they were very large protests. Congratulations, you had a very large protest that was mostly peaceful. Good job on that, but it really wasn't a big deal. You're just basically Democrats voting against or Democrats protesting against a Republican president. Nothing new to see here. All right, moving on, moving on. Let us see. Oh, yeah, Trump will stop being president in 2029, by the way, regardless. Someone else is going to win. I think it's going to be Vance at this point. That could change. We have a long time to go before that happens. That is another 3.5 years, basically, that you will have to put up with Trump as your president. And then in 2029, someone will take over who won in the 2028 election. Again, as of right now, I would say that's probably Vance, but lot of time to go before that happens. All right, really moving on this time. Okay. Oh, you know what? I put this in here. Let's go ahead and talk about this. These protests are not a sign of future elections, by the way. Trump still hey, hold on. You guys might want to see this. You guys might want to see this. We haven't had this happen in a while. Come on up here. You want to come up here? No? No? We're having a discussion. You don't want to make an appearance? Come on, bro. Yes, here he comes. This is Bruce. Bruce is doesn't make an appearance very often, but I mean, he does on occasion. And so here he is. Hi guys. Hi, I'm Bruce. No, that's not usually how I. This is actually. Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm Bruce. I'm Bruce. You're Bruce. Yeah, Bruce is a good boy most of the time, not always. Right now, he does not have his collar on because he took it off and then played with it in the dirt, so it needs to be washed. He usually has a collar, so let me clarify. He's not an outside dog. He was outside. He was playing outside. Took his collar off. Got it dirty. I gotta wash it. But usually he's an inside dog, even though he's this big. Huh? Huh? You're a big dog. You're a big dog. Not a medium-sized dog like Brandy says. Brandy says you're a medium-sized dog, but he is a big dog. But yeah, he's an inside dog, so don't worry. He's not running away and without a collar. He's going to be inside, and then I'm going to get his collar washed, and I'm going to put it right back on him. All right. All right, down, Bruce. Bye. Bye, buddy. No? You want to say hi one more time? No? Okay. Bye, buddy. Bruce break. So haven't done that in a while. If I keep saying his name, he's gonna keep sticking around. So I'll stop saying his name now. Oh, he's just gonna sit down right there. Maybe he'll make another appearance for you guys. Anyways, all right. So let's just talk about the election coming up here. Or not coming up. It's so we do have the midterms coming up in about a year, right? A little over a year. I don't consider those coming up because they happen every 2 years and it's over a year away. So still quite a while. But anyways, there's some people that think that these protests mean that there's going to be a huge blue wave in 2028. I do not. If you look at the numbers, the Democrats' polling numbers are even lower than Trump's, even lower than Republicans. If you look at the number of registrations or memberships, Democrat memberships are declining and Republican memberships are increasing in the millions. And I'm not saying that people are leaving the Democrat Party and joining the Republican Party. I'm not saying that. There is some of that. What is happening more, I would say, is the Democrat Party. A lot of their people are leaving to become independent. They're leaving to become third party. So will the Democrat Party or the Democrat president lose all those votes? Not necessarily. You'll have some of them that are just leaving the party in protest, but they will still go ahead and they'll vote for the candidate because they would prefer the Democrat candidate over the Republican candidate. That is happening. And then the Republican increases, on the other hand, are, some Democrats, but probably a lot of third party and independent voters who have decided that they're going to join the Republican Party. Um, so I'm one of the independent third party voters who finally did vote for Trump in 2024. That was the first time I ever voted for him. But I did not join the Republican Party. I'm not planning on joining the Republican Party. I will stick to the Libertarian Party. Um, but I did vote for Trump. So I am not one of those numbers. So in addition to the millions of people who are joining the Republican Party, there's all of these people like me who will vote for Republicans in some cases, that aren't actually Republicans. So that'll offset some of, where you see third party independent voters voting for a Democrat candidate. You see third party and independent voters voting for Republican candidates, in some cases, especially presidential. Um, but in the midterms, that he's not going to be, it's not going to be his election, but it's kind of going to be a referendum on him. That always is the case, right? The sitting president, it's a referendum on them, as well as the support for the parties. And right now, Trump's approval rating, last I heard, this isn't even in my post. Last I heard, his approval rating went up since the shutdown, which is something we will be talking about. Obviously, the main purpose of this video is the shutdown. We're almost 12 minutes into it, and I haven't talked about the shutdown yet, so sorry about that. But anyways, maybe I will split this into two different videos. That's what I will do, so it doesn't become too long. I will split this into two videos. This video is just about the No Kings protests, with a slight talk about the shutdown, because I thought I was going to be discussing the shutdown. But No Kings protests. That's what we'll focus on. Anyway, so the numbers are not in the Democrats' favor. Now, there's over a whole year before that election. Could things change? Maybe. But I do not predict a blue wave coming in 2026. I believe that Republicans will expand their lead in the House and in the Senate. Not by a lot. They're not going, I don't think they're going to get a 60 vote, majority in the Senate. So they're still going to be dealing with these things like, the shutdown, which we will get to in the next video, apparently. Yeah. So anyways, so the shutdown, or sorry, the election will not result in the Republicans getting 60 votes in the Senate, but I think they will get a couple of seats. I think they'll get a couple of seats, or more than a couple. I think they'll probably get like 5, 10 seats in the House, and Democrats will lose some more power, but it won't change a whole lot moving forward. But if they think they're going to get a blue wave and they're going to be able to, take control of one or two of the branches, or houses of Congress, Senate or House, it's just not happening. The numbers aren't showing that to be the case. It's wishful thinking, and because they think this protest was super popular, they think that's changes things. It does not. That's my take on it. Let me check real quick to see if there's anything else that I put in this post that I would like to touch on. Let's see. Oh, so this actually doesn't affect the midterms as much. I do want to touch on it just a quick bit, though, especially with all of the talk about gerrymandering and things like that, redistricting and that sort of thing. Um, the current redistricting is happening because the parties think that they can increase their numbers in the midterm election. Texas is specifically doing it because the court rulings, and there's soon to be a Supreme Court ruling to go along with it, which is going to get rid of race-based gerrymandering. And so they are trying to make sure that their districts are not race-based gerrymandered. They're not districts based on race. Um, they're doing it for that reason. They're doing it because, although they don't keep numbers of of the political parties, of your registration for a political party is not something that's kept in Texas. Really, Zarina? Well, in between these videos, I will fix that. But so my dog bumped the camera. Anyways, so you're seeing these redistrict battles happening. California is redistricting, or they're going to have their election here in a couple of days, where they're going to see if they're going to be able to redistrict in response to California. But it is not your typical redistricting, which happens after the census is taken. But we are seeing numbers in red states increase and population numbers in blue states decrease. So in 2026, in the midterms, while I think you'll see small increases for Republicans in the Senate and the House. I think, and this is a long way away, but I think in 2028 you are going to see a huge Serena. Anyways, on that note, I'm going to end this video because Serena has decided that she is going to take the camera for a ride. You can still hear me. You cannot see me. Thanks, Serena. Thanks a lot. But anyway, so in 2028, I think you're going to see a huge increase in Republicans in the House. That doesn't affect the Senate, but I think you will be seeing a huge increase in the House, and the Electoral College. You know what? I'm saying this, but I think we already saw the census increase. Yeah, now all of this it's more for probably, what was it? It'll be 28, so 32. We'll probably see more of what I'm saying here in 32. Sorry, scratch that. 32, you'll probably see huge House number increases for Republicans. You'll probably see the Electoral College shift so that there's more votes for Texas, less votes for California and New York, more votes for Texas and Florida. And so 32 is looking really bad for Democrats. 28 is not looking great. 26 is not looking great. Anyways, on that note, I am going to end this video. Sorry about how it ended. And yeah, next video will be better. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.